Hey guys, in this video, we're going to talk about what we call the distributive property. So what you have in algebra or in math, you have what they call rules and regulations to when you're doing these types of problems. So, and in this case, we're going to talk about the distributive property. And so what is the distributive property? If you think about the word distributive, think about distribution, distribute. So I'm going to show you how when you have a set of numbers that you're multiplying or adding with regards to parentheses, you're going to be able to distribute those numbers. So let's do that. So the distributive property is basically, say for instance, if this is A parentheses B plus C, and these letters are representing numbers. So I'll show you how that works in a minute. So A times B plus C. So the B plus C is in the parentheses. Usually when you see two numbers next to each other like this with the parentheses, you assume that there's going to be multiplication there. Sometimes you may see a little dot right next to it, or if not, but you're going to assume that's multiplication. So you're going to distribute what's in the parentheses out with what's multiplied by what we see here, the letter A. So your answer would be A times B plus A times C. So basically we've distributed the A, which is multiplied by B plus C. We've distributed to B and C. That also works with if you had A, B minus C, you would have A times B minus A times C. So what does that look like with numbers? Say if we had three, let's see here, three times, pad is messing up. So let's clear this back real quick. Let me erase, make this look a little bit better. So if we had three, say 4 minus 2. So technically would be 3 times 4, right? Minus 3 times 2. And I'm putting that in the parentheses so that we can show how we distribute that out. So 3 times 4 is 12. And I'll show you multiple ways in doing this. Minus 3 times 2 is 6. What's 12 minus 6 is 6. So another way of looking at this, what you have in dealing with properties, you deal with what's in the parentheses first. You could say this is 4 minus 2. So 4 minus 2 is 2. So you could just put your 2 in parentheses. So you have 3 times 2 equals 6. 6 equals 6. So that's how that works. So also I wanted to show you whenever you're dealing with exponents, parentheses, multiplication, and addition, there's another property or set of rules that you need to be able to know to do first whenever you're looking at multiplication, division, addition, subtraction, exponents, parentheses, all those types of things. And that is what they would call as like a somewhat of a algorithm or a way of memorizing how this would work would be called PEMDAS, PEMDAS. And basically what that is saying is you perform what's in the parentheses first, then exponents, then multiplication, then division, addition, and then subtraction. So a lot of times you'll hear people say this is order of operations. So whenever you see a problem where you've got exponents and multiplication, subtraction, addition, you don't know what to do first, you think of PEMDAS, which is parentheses first, do what's in parentheses first, then your exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and then subtraction. So let's do another example of the distributive property. So say we have 6 times, let's say this time 4 plus 7. That would be the same as 6 times 4 plus 6 times 7. So you've distributed this 6 to the 4 and to the 7. So we could say 6 times 4 is 24 plus 6 times 7 is 42. So remember, going back to our order of operations, what comes before, what type of operation would you do first? Would you multiply first? Yes, multiply first before you add. So you'd multiply these two numbers, then multiply these two numbers, and then add. So 6 times 4 is 24. 6 times 7 is 42. You add those two together, that's 66. So another way of looking at this to check to see if you're correct, also order of operations, if you were looking at this problem, you would do what's in parentheses first. 7 plus 4 is 11. That's in your parentheses, and that's going to be multiplied by 6. 6 times 11 is 66. So this is showing you the distributive property. I've also showed you order of operations, showed you multiple ways you could get that right answer so that you see how this works. I hope this helps, and we'll see you in the next video to discuss another property. All right.